Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton number 123. 123. Woo! Pew 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 pew. Never thought I'd make it to a game this long, so that's kind of fun, honestly. I am half hungover. I have little time. I say little time. 2 hours is more than enough to record a turn. But I am late. And it's loud, so I apologize. But we're gonna do this. Let's go. Jump in. To the turn. All right. So, normal scenario. We're just gonna run down what's happened and then talk about our next set of plans. Doing a bunch of summoning, right? Corpse Man constructions, Naiad warriors, Yetis. Still doing Lichcraft. Still doing vampire summons, still doing Kusarikus, etc. We're getting a lot of units every turn off of this stuff. We are going to have to be more careful. We are kind of burning through our water bank at the moment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I need to make sure that those individuals are being summoned into the right locations, not just random locations. So I need to kind of like refocus on that particular situation to make sure that we've got a good handle on that. Not really much else except for some cloud trapezing to target a Melkart. Let's see how that goes. I believe this is in the Battle of Ross, where we sent systems. Yeah, it's multiple things my computer is doing right now, rendering and other shit, so normally it doesn't have this many issues. So we're summoning a bunch of air elementals against this Melkart. Should not be much of an issue. 6 air elementals versus a single Melkart should be more than enough. He does like smash them down, but eventually, right, he's slowly but surely taking damage. So, taking several wounds, and maybe he's gonna do it. Down to 3, down to 2. He's only got 28, and his morale is broken. Okay. He dies. Well, he doesn't die, actually. He just loses the battle. He flees to a nearby province where he dies. And we can see Lanka has thrown some golems into the mix. Been thinking about doing golems, but I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger. This particular golem, we can see, oh my goodness, Wailing Winds just came up. God, my computer is unhappy with me. This guy is pretty stacked. Most specifically, Thom the Golem is rolling with the Horror Harmonica, which is an auto Wailing Winds, very interesting. And the Ring of Returning, or I say the Ring of Returning, a Ring of Returning, right? So the idea being that Thom the Golem, this is actually a really cool combo. Thom the Golem pops in, right? Uses his Starshine Skullcap to be Astral 3, teleports in, and then immediately does Wailing Winds, right? Which is kind of partially interesting, right? But not really the point of this combo. I guess it's part of the point of the combo. Wailing Winds, and then we'll call Horror. So gonna call a big ass Horror onto the battlefield, and then as soon as Thom the Golem takes damage, he's gonna peace out. And so you might be like, okay, well, he pieces out. How's that good for, you know, Lanka? Well, he leaves the Horror behind, and the Horror doesn't give a shit that Lanka has routed. So the Horror just continues to try to fight and kill everything on the battlefield. So here comes the Horror. And it's a fucking Defiler of Dreams. Dear Lord Jesus. So it immediately attacks the Golem. And as soon as the Golem takes a hit, boom, he's out of there. He returns. And then he's gonna go after the smell cart. Oh my goodness. My computer chugs right now. Okay, so Defiler of Dreams, very scary guy. Not a lot of HP. We've seen these guys before, but pretty high defense and a lot of attacks. Life-draining attacks, armor-piercing life-draining attacks, armor-negating, horror-marking attacks. Do a lot of damage really quickly. Like so. Boom. That's a dead Melkart. So, really, really cool kit on that golem. Very interesting. Next up, we did a lot of site searching in Halbathria, just because we kind of could. It was the scenario of, why not? Most of these people can't preach anyways, and the ones that we did, we have plenty of other people preaching regardless. We didn't find anything. I wasn't really anticipating finding anything, but, you know, whatever. Oh, you might have noticed up here, I screwed up in the recording of the last session. And when I was showing off that we were going to be summoning Demons of Darkness, I canceled the summoning of Demons of Darkness, so we don't have that this turn. We're going to get that, or we'll have them next turn. Summoned, or did some more blood hunting. Not as good a turn as we have had previously, but it's okay. Nazar the second was attacked by a horror and smashed. Easy peasy. We attacked in Resting Heights. Now we have all of the little ones. We raided in Resting Heights, won, took Andoria, got hit in White Forest, pushed off of the fortification there. He basically pulled this whole army back. Came out, got pelted by flames from the sky, and then pulled back. Which, okay, sure, yeah, absolutely. We've taken control of Cracked Earth. We got hit in Sitha. We've taken control of Mirius. You see Lanka hitting him in Ivanmore. We get hit in Gaeta by some just undead and some Mazics. Easy peasy. We get hit in Rafabolia. So this is actually a big fight. So we'll watch this. We get basically torn up, and I was unsure. This was I knew there were units in Rafabolia, but this was more than I had anticipated. So this is gonna be kind of a stomp, which is fine. I'm not super fucked up about it. So immediately he has Natural Storm up. We put Natural Storm. He puts up Howl, the Blood Rain, puts up Heat from Hell, and he's got a whole lot of evocations going on, right? He's got a lot of earth evocations. We can see the blade winds coming out. He's got a lot of pillars of flame and a lot of lightning bolts. And this is coming out from, he's got these Amis, right? That have basically done the same thing that we've done, that have aired up. And then he's got the fire versions of the Amis that are doing pillars of fire, and that shit hurts. That shit hurts a lot. Pillars of Fire is late game a really, really strong evocation. So I feel like he kind of actually has us a little beat in the firepower, definitely with this army, but I mean just in general, he kind of has us beat with the random firepower stuff now, because he can bring to bear, you know, Pillar of Fire batteries where we just have Thunderstrike batteries. And he has Thunderstrike batteries as well, so not a good situation for us to be in. We can see the Thunderstrikes continue to come down, Pillars of Fire continue to come down. See, oif, 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 roof. Good stuff. So not much of an interesting battle, because not a lot happens here. He basically just fucking out summons us, out pushes us, out evocations us. In part because he just had brought more to bear. If we had an army of the same size, it probably, I don't know that we would have won necessarily, but it definitely would have been different. So this goes to show me that I need to be respectful, right? Just because we have been choking Hinnom out doesn't mean that I can disrespect him and send a small army to do a big army's job. So, very important to keep that in mind. We did almost no damage to him. We killed an Avite Charioteer, a single Dawn Guard, a single Fire Drake, a single Fire Snake, 6 Mechanical Men, 16 Thralls, just chump change. And we lost a fair amount for it. An Enkidu Shaman, 6 Skudus, 1 Lich. The Lich will come back. The Vampire Lord will come back. We lost a fair amount of infantry as well. 20 Spear Guards, 52 Ur Guards. So that was a dumb mistake on our part, but done partially in the fact that I couldn't see what he had in Raphabolia. So, fair enough. Now we know. We've been attacked in Saetica, and that has been taken. We attacked in Erd and won. We took Caves of Madness. We took Range of Shadows, and this is actually interesting. So that Melkart that we sent 3 Air Gudus at earlier, he got pushed into this province, routed into this province. He only has 28 HP left. So these 2 Gudu come in, and Air Elementals up on him, Air Elementals up on the central guys, kill those real quick. Air Elementals go after him at the end, and boom, they actually kill him before he can get out. And we get a Frostbrand and a Chainmail of Displacement for him. Sweet. Sweet. So in Edirol, we just, kill some PD, take control of Villia, and we get hit in Orc Enum, get hit in Black Alps, get hit in Moss Woods, and get hit in Jorgar. So Hinnom is fighting back, quite successfully. Raiding and counter raiding in this scenario there's not a clear winner. I would say. I guess obviously it's 2v1, so he's getting pressured down, but we're gonna have to figure out some ways to crack him. There is an attack in Brightwoods with Tartarian Monstrum, and then we attack in Ivan, or no. Relay's thing attacks in Ivanmore. Where's Ivanmore? Ah, way over here. So, kind of annoying. Alright, unexpected event, 25 Unrest and Misfortune in Stone Heavens. Got some gold in Assad, very cool. Got Sinkhole Swamp, we got some Death Gems, some Unrest, and Magic. And then nothing else really doing. So, what is happening this turn? We've got our usual movements, right? We'll talk about our raiding patterns. So we're moving, just kind of moving into trying not to go into locations that Lanka is, right? We still have this kind of defensive just full-on alliance with Lanka at the moment, so I haven't been doing a good job about sending my attack orders to Lanka in the last few turns, so that's kind of my bad, but we're basically just hitting wherever the other is not, and hoping that we don't bump heads, and if we do bump heads, we bumped heads. Right, so we're attacking into Saetica, attacking into Gaetica, and attacking into Sitha down here. Some of these guys are just moving into positions to try to be kind of in a safer location. Some of them are actively trying to move back to laboratories, right? So that they can launch themselves at others if need be. We are attacking into Goodwater with some Ishibs with our Shambler skins. Easy peasy. Gonna send them on down and hopefully take that over. And yay. Great. Fantastic. The remnants of the army that got destroyed in Raphabolia is mostly heading back to Jaburnia, and we're going to try to get set up there and reconstruct a small army and use it to reinforce other things if need be. The only big issue is that this NC, moving with what remains of the infantry that we have, he can't make it there in a single turn, so I don't want to send him to Ivermark, so he's gonna go the long way around, basically, to Jaburnia. More than likely, he's gonna stop in Halbathria, drop off his troops, and then boots over to Jaburnia. We're sending a lot of units from Tirnanog into Halbathria. This is going to be our staging grounds to move on either Rafabolia or White Forest. Currently, probably White Forest, considering the scenario. Although, I think he can just teleport these armies around, kind of like at will. So, probably going to need to attack multiple locations at the same time. We'll keep that in mind. We're continuing to raid into his heartland, Black Alps with our Tart 14, Droigar with our Tart 13. I'm actually going to throw our Isham 40 into Work Inham against these long dead Rephites. Work Inham, what's that on our... was. So we have a Mound King, Long Deads, and Long Dead Rephites. So the Long Dead Rephites are actually dangerous, right? They could chop through our Isham's protection. So I'm kind of just going out on a limb here that they're not going to be there this turn. And it could be a bad bump. We'll see. I'm sending Pyroflogos to Moss Woods. And yeah. What else is happening with our movements? We are sending, so you see the weird movements over here. We're sending all of our Astrals back towards The Astrals that we have, we only have like an Astral grouping in Trackless Waste, and then we're trying to rebuild Astrals in The Astrals that we had in other locations, our communions basically have been destroyed. So we're trying to reconsolidate those, and we're utilizing, coral blades to try to beef up the individuals in the communions so that they can better withstand combat, etc. So that's going to be a focus on us probably for the next, several turns. We are forging a bag of wind over here with our winged helmet and a robe of the Magi. And the intention here is we don't really currently have a great way to quickly add high air into our armies, period, right? We had been having to rely on communions for things like fog warriors or other shit. I want to kind of have some winged helmets and bags of wind on hand to be able to throw those on an Oogaloo to be able to boost up to whatever battlefield-wide buff or like Shimmering Fields or something like that I want to throw out there, basically. Okay, we got that. Our Immortal chain, we continue to, as Immortals resurrect, we continue to throw them up towards the front line using Alentova as this jumping off point. That's going relatively well. We are sending some individuals down to Rim Mountains. We talked about this previously. We're gonna start building a city palisades here. This is somewhat dangerous, obviously, right? Because if we get hit by this fucking ghost ship armada, that's basically just gonna kill 750 gold for us. And the fucking wolf tribe here aren't gonna be able to do anything about that. So we are sending, we're actually sending a vampire over with a couple of thralls. The thralls aren't really gonna do much, but they're trying to be chaff for the vampire. But we're also sending over a couple of gudus, a couple of air gudus. I think 4 in total, right? And they're all outfitted to be able to summon a bunch of air elementals. And the hope is that with the combination, I might even send some I might even send like a lich over there. The hope, right, is that with enough summons, with enough horde of skeletons, etc., that type of thing, is that we can defend this place long enough. Probably not even gonna matter, but it takes 5 months, right? We take a long time to put up a palisade, so the hope is that we can get this up in Rim Mountains, and then we can use Rim Mountains as kind of like we're trying to do a defensive ring around our water locations. Also, I think this will help protect our southern areas against future conflicts with Lanka. We'll have to see, though. Next turn, I really want to put a temple in Halbathria. We are preaching with Unafishtim, which is a priest 2. I have him out preaching because he's immortal. If someone pops on him, he dies, whatever. No big deal. We're not really out anything. And then, so we're trying to preach there to get the line of our dominion pushing, and we can see we actually, like, this is our baseline. The baseline is the capital line, right? Tirnanog, Kailasa, Pangaea, and we are already pushing out from multiple sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different provinces that we've already pushed beyond. We want to get a temple in Halbathria to help that push, and potentially a temple in Goodwater as well, just because it's less likely that underwater provinces get pushed, right? So that would be nice for us. Ultimately, I think our immediate goal in the near future is going to be to target either Rafabolia or White Forest, right? And then if we can take control of one of those, use the thrones as a jumping off point, both for armies but also for Dominion push. Dominion push being that kind of like big thing. We really want to continue to do a good job pushing our Dominion. To the point of fact of actually, I think there was another location that we didn't have a temple. I could be wrong though. Yeah, we don't have a temple in Dershid, and we should probably get a temple over there. I don't know that we're going to be able to do anything this next turn with that, but you know what? I'm actually going to send an Ishib over there, because he can just preach in Dershid as well as he can preach in Silverfangs, so no big deal. When we need to temple up, he will be available to temple up. Oh, we have a temple there, Jaburnia, good, okay. Oh, we don't have a temple in Olantova, too. That was the other scenario. So we don't have a temple in Dershid where we could have one. We don't have a temple in Olantova where we could have one. And we don't have a temple in Halbathria where we could have one. So that's probably going to be a focus for the next 3 turns. Probably going to start in Halbathria, right, to get the spread over there. But just in general, right, more and more. I mean, I'm not 100% on the way this works, right? But the more temples you have, the more push you have, basically. The more guarantees you have on getting Dominion spread, and the stronger your push against other people's Dominion spread, etc., etc. So, pretty excited about that. In other news, we're basically just continuing to forge a bunch of things, continuing to summon a bunch of things, continuing to summon Naiad warriors up here in Agartha. The reason why we are summoning... Oh, we don't have one in Tenera either. Or in Pugria. Shit, I forgot about these up here. We got plenty of places to put temples. Very, very important. The reason why we are continuing to cast Naiad warriors up here in Agartha is because I want to build up an army, right, to be able to oppose Relay should Relay do anything. I don't think Relay is going to do anything, but should Relay decide to do something, I want to be ready. I also really want to be able to consider the concept of pushing through Relay's territory to own with a underwater army and maybe like 40 Ishibs, that type of thing. Like send a bunch of my Ishibs up to Agartha and then just walk across the bottom of the ocean to own and attack that when or if the time comes, right? Is that kind of concept. Also, just protecting Agartha is a very good idea for us, generally speaking. So we're going to be building up a Naiad army there. We are continuing to forge some Shambler skin stuff, water lenses, all that good type of stuff. But not really a lot is happening over in Trackless Wastes. Kind of just sitting on the army as it is there. We are continuing. We're going to do Forces of Darkness this turn, and probably continue to do Forces of Darkness this turn for a while. Do we have the max amount that we have? Can. We are blood hunting with 5 people. Okay, that's good. Sneaking some more people down to Belagor. We're patrolling in Belagor for right now, right? We're casting Naiad warriors down here, and the whole reason we're casting them here is because we're just trying to get some patrollers. So getting more patrollers, once we get thralls up down here and we can replace them with, replace the Naiad warriors with the thralls, then we'll stop worrying about that. We do have to be careful in Belagor because unlike the other blood hunting locations, Belagor is adjacent to water provinces and we have to protect it from ghost ship armada. So we're gonna be patrolling with way more than we have been in the past. And that's the goal there, is just to make sure that if the ghost ship shows up, we can defend ourselves. Eventually, though, we'll probably take these Naiads and send them to some place like Dershid or Silverfangs or something like that, where they can be of more use. We are not really doing anything in Kailasa. Over in Tirnanog, we are forging Dropnir. Again, trying to get in that habit of forging a unique every single turn. Dropnir is a very simple item. It's just plus 200 gold. It's 40 Earth Gems, which is a stout price, but we're actually doing pretty good on Earth Gems right now. We get 38 per turn. And Dropnir gives 200 gold per month, which is pretty good. So it's a very nice amount of income. Speaking of uniques, we put the Ruby Eye, which is a cursed item, on Ruax, the King of Magma. So he has base fire 6. And so he has plus fire. That's why we put it on him, because we were like, if we need it to be on someone, this person works, right? He's getting plus 2 water gems per month now, so that's just a nice little added bonus. He's actually summoning allies, which we should have had him be doing for a while now. We're doing a lot in Pangea because Pan is one of our it's one of our safe frontier kind of posts, right? Halbathra and Tirnanog are kind of more so at this point now, but I'm trying to make sure that we don't ignore like this army in Realm of Silence, right? If he tries to march on me, take Carrion, take Pangea, that would hurt us a lot, right? Or if he decides he wants to go for Kailasa, we can reinforce from either the Tirnanog area or the Pangean area, right? So that's kind of important. We are summoning Naiad warriors here. We're summoning Yetis here. We're doing Corpseman construction here. We're summoning allies. We are mind hunting this Vampire Lord, so that's potentially important. Trying to see what else. Other than moving our communion away from Tirnanog and most of the rest of our mages into Halbathria, I think that's pretty much it over here. Okay, what else? I'm trying to send out my, not hold my items anymore. So most of my items I am putting on the people that I am intending on using them with, right? So all of my coral blades are going onto shaman so that I can start, or communions, astrals, right? So that I can start to see how many do I need, right? So to overproduce. Doing the same things with water lenses and water bracelets, right? I'm trying to make sure every Ishib that I find has a water lens, has a water bracelet. I think that is important. We're staying on our 2 pieces of gear. We're making another... We're probably going to make another 3 or 4 black bows and eyes of aiming. We are empowering someone. Who are we empowering? Over here? Yeah, we're empowering Lich 7 over here in Trackless Wastes. So he's going to be summoning Corpseman constructions starting next turn with the Storm Spool and the Lightning Rod every single turn. And then we'll probably wait a couple... So we have now 1 in doing that, right? We'll have 1 in Trackless Waste, and we'll have 1 in Pangea. We'll probably wait a turn or 2, put 1 in, like, Tirnanog or, like, Kailasa or something like that. Again, maybe even Agartha would be good. So, the whole purpose there is to just continue to, 1, generate high HP buffable chaff that costs no upkeep. For future endeavors, and also to give us the cross path of death and air for things like Wailing Winds and Winds of Death. So, good. Anything else that's really like more interesting? Endless bags of wine. We've talked about that. The goal of every single army is going to be minus supply usage. We're at -2 over here, 375 here, 125 here, 167 there. I'm not really worried about like thrall armies in blood hunting locations, right? But I'm definitely worried about like actual armies, Agartha, etc. So we're doing multiple bags of wine every single turn in order to do that. We're kind of up to a pool where I feel okay about spending nature gems as long as I'm not spending more than I'm making every turn. So that's the goal, right? We want to continue to go up in the amount of nature gems that we have so that when we have an opportunity to do Gift of Health or Gift of Nature's Bounty, we can. But we're not super hyper focused on getting to a good threshold yet. I think we're at a good threshold. So, continuing to summon Kusarikus, more Lichcraft. We're actually making some Clam of Pearls. We've got NC23 over here doing that. I think we're probably going to be doing that a little bit, not a crazy amount, but a little bit. I think it's potentially a good item to put on our Umu Apkalus as a secondary miscellaneous slot. But also for the rebuilding of a communion, I think a couple of clams of Clam of Pearls would be a pretty good idea. And if you're not familiar with what a Clam of Pearls is, it is a water nature item that gives you temporary astral gems, two astral gems for every battle. So it's very good for a lot of the astral buffs that you put up battles. Trying to think if there's anything else really happening. No eagles this turn. Our air gems are kind of low. I actually think I want to send some of these guys out towards the front. We've got a lot in Pan right now. I think we don't have a lot in Kailasa right now. Kailasa, I'm kind of like leaving unprepared, which I don't really like, but it kind of is what it is. At the same time, though, I kind of don't want to take away any of these Inkidus because we're eventually going to need them to attack Lanka. I guess we'll just sit. It's not a pressing matter at the moment. Is there anything else that we are doing that is super interesting? I don't think so. We had no real crazy opportunities presented to us to, you know, Magic Phase Mel carts or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. We do have this Baal, who I'm somewhat concerned about if we go there with Pyroflogos, but we're risking it anyways, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Wonder if we, like, attack with more than... Because I think this Baal was there last turn. Maybe he's just sitting there in the hopes that Mosswoods... No, he attacked there last turn, intentionally. Is he... I'm assuming he's just set up to Soul Slay. Oh. He's a big boy. What he got? Oh, he's got a Flesh Eater, a Frostbrand, Chainsmail, yeah. I don't even know if we could beat him in a fight. Got pretty high attack skill, truth be told. Pyroflogos. I feel like that's a toss-up. Yeah. Which is cool. Let's see how the toss-up goes. Probably his way, actually. Can Pyroflogos summon allies? Can. Probably have been summoning allies with him this entire time as well. But, oh well. Too late. Not too late. It's never too late. Alright, that's going to be it for the turn. Thanks for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.